Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. My name is Jared. It is nighttime. Me and Jenica are going to take off in a minute, but she's going to do something with one of my girls. They're going to watch part of a show together before we go. So I thought it'd be a good time to go out to the chicken coop. I haven't been out there today. Check the cows' water, get eggs. I had a commenter today, Truth Seeker, who asked how to start a homestead. And I want to make really clear right off the bat that I am by no means an expert at all. I've only been doing it for 3 years. Made plenty of mistakes along the way. And earlier today, there was someone that was saying that I was giving good ranchers a bad name, which I don't really understand how. In the video earlier today, I was just talking about what I learned about cow auctions and basically how we, as a little family farm, a little homestead, can make a little extra money. Sorry, it's dark right now. We're in the coop. Hold on. Let me turn on the light. Okay, sorry, give me just 1 second. Here we go. This light switch doesn't work the best. So anyway, I just want everyone to know I'm not an expert at everything. I just kind of realized some prices for cattle and stuff like that. And every time that we've had we've always done bottle calves. You can get bottle calves for cheap. And the reason why, I think there's a few reasons, but one is because they're more risky. They can die a lot easier than calves that are on their mom. So you kind of like assume a risk by doing a bottle calf. So anyway, we've done bottle calves, and every time that we've raised them and then sold them, we've always made a little bit of a profit. And I guess that's where that one person's qualm came into play. I'm still not exactly sure why I was giving ranchers a bad name, but whatever. I don't mean to, and I'm not trying to say that I'm any sort of expert, but let's talk about I need to put some more water in that. I'll do that after I'm done with the video. Yeah, so let's talk about homesteading. So I'm still a beginner, but the question... Hey, it's nighttime, dummy. The question was how to start a homestead, how to move out of state, stuff like that. Dude, this rooster's all confused. So I'll just tell you our story really quick. Okay. Basically, we just had kind of like the prompting to do homesteading. I really think it was the spirit that was kind of guiding us, and so we just started to kind of watch YouTube videos. There's different... Are we just going to be doing that all night? You can watch different YouTube videos, get lots of advice and hints. There's all sorts of resources out there for you. So that's what we did. Watched a bunch of YouTube videos. Started looking for properties. We wanted to stay in Arizona or maybe go to Utah, but no, everywhere's expensive. I'm sure that it still is, but when we were looking, it was 2020, and everything west of Kansas was super expensive. So we looked outside of the West. We started looking at the Midwest, and there were affordable houses. You know, I've never really made a ton of money, so we needed something kind of cheap. And we started with Texas, and then because that's where I was in the Army. I served in the Army at Fort Hood, and we liked Texas, but through our search, we looked at other states. We looked at Arkansas. We looked at Missouri and Kansas. And we were just blown away by the good deals that were out here. You can get so much more land and just better deals here in the Midwest than you can anywhere out west. So through a long, arduous search, we ended up on this place. We originally wanted 5 acres at least, but our realtor found us this place that was only 2 acres. But we saw it, we felt good about it, meaning that we felt the spirit. So we decided to take it. It had been on the market for like 6 months. And we got it for only $115,000. That's it. Just $115,000. The house itself is small. It's 1,400 square feet. But it's big enough for my family. My kids kind of don't like big houses because, well, especially my oldest daughter, because she gets scared really easy. But it fits all of us in there pretty comfortably. We spend plenty of time outside, and there's plenty of room. We're in a small town. And our house came with a 2-car garage. And in the 2-car garage, like in the back, there's a workshop. And then there's this, like, kind of like second, whatever you want to use it for, workshop, or we've decided to use it as a chicken coop. The guy before, he had, just all this lumber and pipes and stuff like that. Hey guys, do you want me to fix your bar? Sorry, I didn't tell you to do that. You know what? Okay, I'll leave you guys be. I'll leave it be. So, this is a separate 2-car garage with 2 workshops. And then in the back, we have that big kind of like lean-to shed barn thing. And then we have a stream on the property. The pasture was already fenced and all set up for doing exactly what we're doing. The pasture area is about 1.5 acres. And we've always been able to have usually like 5, at the most we've had 5 cows, all of them young. So, and then what we do is just kind of let them grow till they're about a year old, maybe a little bit older, and then sell them. And we haven't really had to supplement with hay or anything like that. And it's just easy. When we started, we thought, oh, we should do goats because goats are small and, that's like for beginners. And no, cows are easy. As far as I can tell, cows are easy. Bottle calves, a little bit difficult because you have to learn what you got to do to keep them alive. Because you have to keep close tabs on them because they get sick really easy. We've had to tube feed them. You should give them, vaccinations, shots. You don't have to, but I'd say you probably should. When they get sick, you have to act right away. With bottle calves specifically, they get dehydrated really easily when they're sick. So sometimes you have to give them electrolytes in their bottle. Sometimes they stop eating because they're sick, and so you have to tube feed them, and we've done that. And there's just all these different things that you do. They have this one thing called Spectogard. It's like a red kind of medicine thing that you give them. And anyway, so we learned all that. We lost a few because we didn't act right away. That's the key. You have to act right away as soon as you see that they're sick. Even then, it's not a guarantee. We've talked to the vet about it. But for the most part, we've just done that. And they're easy. And goats were actually harder. We had goats. Goats, they are escape artists. We learned that the hard way. But we got cows, and cows are not escape artists. And I feel like it's been pretty easy. This guy already had this place all set up. Like I said, with the fencing and stuff like that. And so we just walked right into it, and we just started. And just like anything in life, you start out as a beginner, and you just do what you can to learn along the way. Oh my gosh, this is a tiny egg. That is so small. Who laid that? Who laid that? I don't know. We've talked to people in town. We've had some really good people here that have helped us with questions that we've had, and everyone's friendly. So basically, I would say if you want to do a homestead, just jump into it and move at a rate that's comfortable for you. Maybe start out with chickens. I think chickens are easy. We haven't had any issues except for just generally speaking, chickens are easy. There's different coops that you can either make or you can buy. They have like prefabricated coops for a few $100s. In our case, this works really well. Thankfully we have this big room right here that we're using as a chicken coop. It gives them plenty of room. And, the basics are you have feed. Like we have feeder pellet or layer pellets in there. It helps promote good egg laying. And then we have waterers. And then in that container right there, we have scratch, which is the stuff that you scoop and then you throw it on the ground outside on the dirt so they can get some, soil, dirt, rocks into their digestive system because it helps them digest, essentially. But there's all different sorts of waterers and feeders and stuff like that. You just kind of find what works for you. So maybe just do that. Start out with a few chickens. From what I've read in multiple places, the ideal ratio of roosters to hens is 1 rooster per 10 hens, but that's not like a strict rule. We have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roosters right now. We have him, and then we have 2 Samani crosses. Oh, there's one of them right there. He don't worry about that. That's how they mate. He wanted to mate, but I guess she didn't want to at the moment. But we have him, and then we have the other one, and then we have dude, why don't you just go to sleep? Save that for tomorrow. And then we got this little bantam right here, which I kind of wish that we hadn't. He's a rooster, but so he's smaller, so he just he understands his place. And as you can see, he's kind of like not with the rest of them. I think over time, he'll probably integrate a little bit better. And then we have that guy right there, that ugly one that my wife wanted. And he just kind of stays out of the way and gives way to the more dominant 2 roosters. So it works. It's fine. We're probably going to be getting more hens anyway, so that ratio will get a little bit better. But anyway, you just kind of move at a slow pace, just do what feels comfortable to you, and you just kind of learn as you go. You ask for help when you need it. Research as much as you can. We have these nesting boxes here. They're all they are is just milk crates. Milk crates are a popular choice for a lot of people, but there's different types of nesting boxes you can do. Gosh, I'm getting everybody riled up tonight. And yeah. So anyway, just in other words, for us, we just kind of jumped into it. We've experimented a lot, and we're still experimenting. We've kind of like rearranged this place so many different times. And from what I can tell, nobody really knows what they're doing. I don't think there's like a perfect way to homestead. It just kind of comes down to your preferences and what works out for your location and your homestead and stuff like that. There's all different ways that you can do it. But I have found cows and chickens pretty easy. Ooh, this one's warm. My hands are cold right now. It's kind of cold outside right now, and this is nice and warm. So I would just say just jump into it. If you can, you know, buy a house that's not too expensive. Of course, that's all up to you, but one goal that we've had, like say that the second coming doesn't happen for 50 years, which I don't believe, but one thing that we wanted to do, we intentionally bought a cheap house because we want to be able to pay it off as soon as possible and always have a paid off house. Okay. If we upgrade, we want to have the cash to buy a new house, or at least pay most of it off if we ever move to a new place. That's part of our retirement strategy, is to basically knock out the biggest expense that people normally have, which is housing. But we may just stay here. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If the second coming happens, we'll see how things go at that point and how the law of consecration and all that stuff works. All right, that's all of our eggs. We haven't been out here for like a day or two to get eggs, so it's not like we get that every day. This is probably like 2 days worth of eggs. But anyway, yeah, so we live in a smaller house, but it's comfortable. We have me and Jenica, and then we have 3 kids. It's a, let's see, it's a 3-bedroom house. We're using one of the rooms as a bedroom, just because we never really have any company over. So there's kind of like 2 rooms that you could either use as like a dining room or a living room. And since we don't really have people over very much, we just turned one into a living room and then the bigger one into our master bedroom, which works out really well, actually. And then when we do have people over, because like we have like some friends in the ward, sometimes we have neighbors over. We usually we're outside because there's plenty of privacy. You know, we'll have like a fire, have hot dogs and stuff like that. I've found it very liberating having a lot of land. Not that like 2 acres is a lot, but it is compared to living in the city. You know, sometimes I look at my land here and it's just like, oh my gosh, I own all this, and it's just 2 acres. And you can find places that have 5 acres, 10 acres for good prices. So, but it's very liberating. There's more privacy, which you don't get really when you live in the city. You live in a neighborhood, you live in an HOA, you have neighbors right next to you. But here, no. I guess it depends on what house you get, but where we live, we're like at the edge of town. So we do have some neighbors, but they're like way more than a stone throw away. And we have really, really enjoyed that. It feels really, really good. So that's one of the big benefits. It's nice being able to produce your own food. You know, we've butchered chickens, and we probably will butcher more. Like this type of hen right here, the speckled Sussex hens, we're probably going to butcher some of them. Replace them with some different breeds. But anyway, we have our own chicken. We're getting eggs. We have a couple cows. Oh, hi.
Hi.
I'm doing a video. Are you ready?
Yeah, I've been ready.
Sorry, I thought...
Where are you
We're just doing a quick video.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Do you have your shoes on?
Nope.
Oh. Let me just check on the cow's water really quick.
Okay. Make sure Cowboy follows you out.
Will you grab my wallet and keys and stuff? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I've been out here for a little bit too long. Time flies when you're having fun. Check on the cow's water. Are you coming out? Come on. Here's our cows. There's their water. As you can see, this needs to be filled up. So, we may not have a big luxurious house like we did when we were living in Goodyear. We were renting a house. It was 2,700 square feet. But I can tell you, I'm so much happier here. You know, I can just come out here, be with my animals. Nobody's around. You know, you can see the street over there, but it's like, it's all dark and there's privacy. We have solar lights on the posts of the fence that goes around our property, and it looks really pretty. So, I don't know, I just feel happier here than I did in the city. You can pretty much buy everything that you need in town. It's a little bit more expensive because, you know, it's far away from a larger city. But, you know, we go to Wichita all the time and some other places. Pretty much everywhere that we need to go whenever it's not here in town is like an hour away. So it's not that bad, you know. A bunch of like buzzards up there. That's crazy. Moving out of state, I don't know what to tell you about that. I mean, you just do it. Oh gosh. There. Of course, that's going to depend on you and your preferences, but some people worry about, oh, what am I going to do if I move to a state because I won't have family there to help me? That's what you have your ward for. You know, we have a good ward. We had an emergency when we first moved here. I don't care to get into that, but basically we needed somebody to watch our animals for a little while. And the people in the ward, they came and picked up our cows and, well, we had one. No, we had two. Yeah. We had a bottle calf and then we had, a Holstein heifer, and she was, I guess she was technically a calf. She was like 7 months old or something like that. But they came and got her, took them to their homestead. We had another neighbor that lives in a town just down the road from us. She's in our ward, and she came and took care of our chickens. And just, you know, you don't necessarily have to have family around for when emergencies come up, you know. Whenever we've gone out of town, same thing, we've made friends, and they're usually like in the same situation, so you just kind of like watch out for each other, and it's not really that big of a deal. So if you're worried about that, I probably wouldn't be if I were you. If you're worried about having a hospital nearby, in our case, in this small town, there's like a small size hospital in between this town and the next one. And from what I've seen, they always have like a clinic / hospital that can take care of like emergency situations, that have like emergency rooms close by. I think they have to have it that way. I don't know how things work, but every place that I've gone, like all these different small towns, they have medical care nearby. So I feel like the atmosphere is more wholesome, generally speaking. You know, you still have problems with drugs and stuff, but I don't think it's quite the same as it is in the city. I feel like people out here are a lot more real. There's more humility because you don't really have as many people living in lofty places as you do in the city. I mean, sometimes you do, but I feel like there's just less. Just generally speaking, it's more humble out here. Maybe that's just where I live, but that's what I've noticed. But anyway, I better not keep Jenica waiting. So thanks for joining me. That's what I would just say. Just do it. It just comes down to that. Go at a pace that's comfortable for you. But also don't be afraid to do new things. Just take it one step at a time. I guess I would recommend to try and get a setup like what we have where the fencing and stuff is already set up for you. Unless you feel like doing all that work, and if you do, then that's great. But for us, everything was already set up. We just stepped into it and basically just started. So, all right, that's going to be it for this one. If you have any more questions, I'd be happy to. If you have any questions, I'll do more videos. So that's all I can really think to talk about in this one. If you have more questions, put it in the comments below. I'll do another video. All right, you guys, take care.